Hello, people. This is JD. Today I'm going to talk to you about Nazi like government. A thing like under Saddam Hussein. But I don't talk about other countries, do I? I talk mostly about the United States. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about the United States. I was watching a thing on Channel 15. And what I saw greatly disturbs me. The thing I was watching is about the immigration going in to a small town, had a meat packing plant there, made a raid to 380 plus illegal immigrants. They took out of the factory, arrested them, and brought them to a compound. And there's where Hitler took over. And I really mean the Hitler mentality took over. They were leading these people around in chains. They weren't giving them any rights. They were doing a whole bunch of things. It was deplorable. And some of you say, well, those were illegal aliens. Yes, they need to be processed. They weren't criminals, like one judge said. He had 10 people standing before him. They didn't even have a misdemeanor on any one of their records. A lot of them couldn't speak English or understand English. A lot of them had no comprehension of our legal system. And a lot of them didn't know what they were doing and they were scared. Well, these were illegal. You're right, they were illegal aliens. And a judge, which I'm going to mention again a little bit later, seen what was going on and he didn't like it either. And there were a few other people. But yet the people from immigration stood before Congress and they basically boasted about their job. Said it is unpleasant and people don't like what we do. But sometimes we have to do these harsh tactics too. Blah, blah, blah. Yes. Those were the people who used to stand around Hitler and said, we need to do this to the Jews. We need to do that to the Jews. And Hitler would hear them and say, yes, yes, yes. Bottom line is, a nation is only as good as its people, and the people are only as good as the worst part of their nation. That's you out there. I believe where they kept them was called Little Town Waterloo, some state, and the factory and stuff was in another little town nearby. It was deplorable how this nation could tolerate what we went to World War II for, what we fought against, and the thousands upon thousands of American young men died fighting against. Yet we are doing it. People, we are only as good as the very worst of our nation. Now, really, I said there was something that was even more deplorable, more horrible. A judge. I told you I'd get back to him. He said how it was all wrong. He didn't see it was right. How we could do this. But it was from the executive branch and he was to do it. No matter what. He was ordered to do it. Even though he knew he was doing wrong to the country, to the American citizens, and to the illegal aliens. But he was ordered to do it. So he did it. He prosecuted them and executed them and carried out his orders as ordered. I wish the judges at the Hindenburg trial could have told you all out there, not me, how many times they heard these people say, we only carried out orders. That judge is part of the very problem our nation has. We have become so institutionalized that we believe the government is right, but the government is not Washington, D.C. People, understand. If you decide to elect me as president, I will be a leader of the government, but you, the people, are the government. Not Congress, not the Senate, not the Supreme Court, not even me as president. You, the people, are the government of the United States of America. Start taking your responsibilities. I will be glad to lead you, and we will shake up Washington and wake them up. But that's only if you decide you're strong enough. That judge was a weakling. I am ashamed that he knew what he should have done, yet he turned his back because it was the executive order. Now, I can't tell you exactly the incident. I don't remember. It's a meat packing plant in the Midwest somewhere. I know that there was a town. I remember seeing a water tower that said Waterloo. I wasn't concerned with what town it was. That doesn't matter. What does matter is we were treating people like we did in World War II to the Japanese. And we are ashamed of that. But yet we continue to do it over and over again. That judge pointed out that some people that were there were from a country that has a varied past. That some of these people may have escaped from institutionalized, in other words, jails. That they were political. And they might have needed asylum. But because of the executive order, they were not to consider any of such things. Some of those people there may have had children that were born inside this country that are American citizens, that have the rights of an American citizen and their family. But they were not to consider that. This is the executive order. This is what we ought to do. It didn't matter. That's the stuff Mussolini did, Hitler did, Hussein did. And I could go on through history and I can go all the way back. As long as man has written history and named great nations that gone to this path. We, the people of the United States of America, is the country. You elect me as president. I'm telling you now, I will be the leader, but a leader of you, the government. I do not kid around when I said I'm bringing every single one of you to Washington, D.C. Because you are the government. Not Congress, not the Supreme Court, not the executive branch. You are the government. The Supreme Court, Congress, and the executive branch are only representatives of you. They have forgotten it. It's unforgivable that our government does not realize it's the people that are the government. That judge was just as bad as Hitler's henchmen. That doggone lady in part of immigration is just as bad as Hitler's SS. Or the Soviet Union secret police. They don't have the job people like, but they're going to enforce the government rules, no matter how horrible they are. People, you're the only ones that can stop it. I can lead you as president, but you're the ones that need to realize the problems with our government is you. We can stop it. when I become president, I don't want to be remembered for the best things I did as president. I want to be remembered for the worst that I did. Because if the worst that I did is so great, then I know when I leave office, I will have served you, the people, as you needed to be represented. So when you start thinking about who you want for president, and you should be thinking that now, look around what you got today. Is it any different than 15 years ago? Government's still in its same quagmire. How many times has the Republican Party and Democrat Party bounced back and forth? No. Every once in a while you get one president who'll break out here or there. And they believe in you, the people. But the political parties don't do it. You know how everyone talks about Reagan, but if you're really checking it, the Republican Party did not want Reagan. Above all else, they did not want Reagan. The people did. All they care about, the political parties, is winning and staying in power. All I care about is you, the American people, and putting you back in power. That's right. This was deplorable. And I watched it, and my stomach didn't turn and get upset until that federal judge said how wrong all this was. But he went along and did it because it came from the executive branch. Yep. One of Hitler's henchmen. He knew it was wrong. He felt it was wrong. He knew the rights were not done. He didn't go out and tell the press. He didn't go out and say, this is wrong. He just sat back quietly and did the slaughter. Just like all the other judges. All of Hitler's henchmen. And listening to the immigration lady talking to Congress reminded me of a lot of times I heard about the KGB going out and doing their job. You know who they are, Soviet Union Special Police Force. So, people, like I said at the very beginning, a government and a country is rated by how bad it is, what it does wrong, not what it does good. Waco is highly unforgivable. This concentration camp where almost 400 people were held prisoners and was treated the best way I could think of it is like the Jews in Germany. They had no rights, though they pretend to have. They had no understanding what was going on. And the people that said, oh, we read them their rights, we told them they could do this or this, they had no understanding. No. Something's wrong when a country can do all these things. Have we become so institutionalized that we're no longer a country of the people? Like I said, 2016's coming. You should start thinking, who do you want for president? Another political party? Another politician? And let the government go more amok? Or do you want to get in there, get your feet dirty, get your hands wet? Oh no, get your feet wet, get your hands dirty, and take over our country and have it yours? have those Republicans and Democrats kicked out, and have congressmen and senators that represent only the people and the states, and have a president who is a leader of you, the people. The very people that is and are and should be the government of the United States of America. We the people mean a lot to me. What's it mean to you? Have a nice day. Seriously, you look around, have our government become so institutionalized that you do not matter? If you want our country to be as great as our forefathers dreamed it, I think you all better start looking this way and start considering it's time for us, the people, to go to Washington, D.C. I may be the president and get the honor of leading you, but you're the ones that are going to go. There's no way about it. You guys elect me, I'm dragging you every inch of the way, or we're marching. But you are going to be the government of the United States of America. And we will answer to ourselves for everything we do. And oh, by the way, talking about that consulate in Libya, all I can say is a lie is a lie is a lie. You hold back stuff, you change the wording, you're lying. Sorry, people, I don't lie. At least I try not to. I'll either not answer the truth with giving you the statement, ask me no questions, I'll tell you no lies, or I'm going to tell you the blunt, straightforward truth as I see it. You have a nice day. I don't know if you guys could stand me as president. Someone who's going to drag you into Washington, D.C. and then speak very truthful to you. Could you, the people, take it? Have an honest government for a change? Oh, we have a lot of work to do. All of us together. You all have a nice day now. And remember, if you consider me for president, you're dragging yourself to Washington, D.C. also. Because it's going to be a country where the government is the people. And that judge, I can't believe it. I heard the same excuses he gave as everything I read about the Hindenburg trials. Those high-ranking generals were only following orders. It came from the executive. Have a nice day.